Hey guys, welcome to Tennessee Football Breakdown with Billy Ratliff. I'm Starla, and this is week 3, Florida game. Um, all right. Final score 29-16. A game we were favored in. We started out pretty good. We got a defensive stop, block field goal. We marched it right down the field. Looked like the Tennessee of 2022 for a second there when we went 71 yards, 2 minutes, 6 plays. Beautiful pass to Squirrel White for 41 yards. And then they came back with 26 unanswered. So what happened? Wherever you want to start.
Oh my. I've watched this game twice now since the actual game, and everything it's the exact same. Just too many mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Too many mistakes. Florida did exactly what I said we have to take away in order for us to compete. And offensively, I'm gonna start there because that's where everybody is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go there first. I'm not worried about what everybody else and all the fans are worried about, which is our quarterback. Quarterback has made one mistake all season, all season. And I went back and I watched that several times, and every time I watch it, I'm still asking myself, why did he throw it? But then when I pause it and go in slow motion, here's a wide open receiver.
Mm-hmm.
No one is there. No one is within 15 yards of the guy. And I think he saw it and he saw it late and he was getting hit at the exact same time. And the player he got hit by, oh my. I don't think anybody would like to get crushed by that. You're talking about almost over 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Um, our offensive line has a lot of work to do. I think we're going to go back to what we did last season with the offense. And because I didn't know we had that many guys out on the offensive line. I didn't. I thought we was healthy enough to, even though our starter center was out, I still thought we was healthy enough to go in and compete. But we was missing 3 offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. And that hurt because now you got a group of kids that's haven't had any true game time together. I mean, practice time, but game time a little bit different. It's a little bit faster when
Mm-hmm.
you're actually seeing it, especially in the hostile environment we went into in Florida. Now, the way to fix that is, like I was saying, go back to what we did last year. Let's go with the hurry up offense. That's the only way to stop the defensive line from getting to the quarterback as fast as they've been doing. Um, the playbook, coach, he got to do something to help the kids out when they're getting beat like that. Um, we stopped running the ball. You know, when we're running 5 wides, 4 wides, and they have 5 defensive backs, we have an advantage to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked up until we got backed up or, a penalty that killed the drive. And that's what hurt us. And like we already said, third down conversion was going to kill us if we don't get it fixed soon. And we still did bad on third downs.
Mm-hmm.
Receivers, they did okay, but they still not creating enough separation soon enough. And that hurts the quarterback too. So there's so many things that was going wrong on offense, but it did make, Milton look bad. It
Mm-hmm.
did. It truly did. It truly did. And the thing about football and any sport, and I say this, especially football, because it's designed just like a clock. If one person, which is that one screw, is not tight enough, something will go wrong. And we had a lot of that on so many plays last weekend. And gosh, and I think it's easy to fix. I think,
Mm-hmm.
going back to the basics and don't get too complex with the offensive line scheme. We may have to do a little slide protection, max protection, leave a guy in, a tight end, bring him in or something like that. Um, That's the only way to fix that when you have an offensive line that's struggling the way we struggled this past weekend. Defense.
So, yeah. So you're a defensive guy. What adjustments would you make on defense?
Um, I think I would grab a couple of guys by the face mask and give them a good heart to heart talk.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them this is not practice. This is not Austin P. This is not Virginia. This is what you are inside of. This is the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
This is where football starts right now, guys. And changes on defense, tackling is the biggest change. We missed so many tackles this past weekend, so many. I count at least 23.
Oh,
That's a lot of missed tackles.
yeah.
And I'm talking maybe 7 by just one player. That's a lot. We don't want that with anybody. And my D-line, we played horrible. And I still think we should have made some adjustments as a defensive coordinator to help our defensive line out, using movements instead of running a lot of base things, because Florida did a lot of cutbacks. And with cutbacks, I mean, all you have to do is just kind of wash the defensive line out and they cut back. And it's kind of like what Barry Sanders used to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a good job. They had a good running back that he utilized his speed and strength, and it worked. Linebackers, they had no chance because the defensive line didn't do their job. Defensive backs, they did a good job. They didn't have a chance to really play the pass because some of the passes that the quarterback threw against them, wow. He was throwing some smoke. I mean, he was throwing some passes that, Tom Brady would throw. Guys jump up and barely touch it, and he's throwing it in the perfect position. Just the missed tackles. Missed tackles by the DBs is what really created a lot of points. Because there's a lot that Florida, we gave them a lot. We gave them a whole lot.
So did you see any of our young guys that you feel like that could step up? I felt like James Pierce really played good. Did you see any young guys that you think that, I don't want to call it any individual players at all, but did you see anybody that you felt could step up and have a bigger role in the future?
I still think you called the right play. JP did a heck of a job stepping in and filling in. I still think we got to find that leader on defense, and I still haven't seen that yet. And I truly say that because at the end of the game, where the fight that happened, which was uncalled for, the guy didn't do anything that would have killed the quarterback. I mean, he pulled up, wasn't trying to really hit him, was doing what we were taught to go full speed until the whistle is blown. And, he's back there dancing around the ball. That's taunting. Yeah. That is the situation where I'll tell you, we have a lot of guys when I played, if that would have happened, I think we would have been 1-1 that night. And that's the loss we took for the SEC. But we wasn't going to lose that battle by them disrespecting us like that. Because if Florida is going to be a good team, they're going to have to get their heads together and not be hot-headed like that. And, to see that the guy barely touched your quarterback. He wasn't trying to hurt your guy. He bumped him and pulled back. And you come throwing fists up at him, pushing him and all that. What you expect for these guys to do? They have to protect themselves. You just violated their space. Now, I didn't see anybody step up as a leader and either pulled anybody back or win that battle. And I'm not saying that we should have fought anybody, but you can't be disrespected like that. And because I'm never going to say go out there and beat anybody up, guys. When the game is over, it's over. There's nothing else we can do to help this situation. And Florida, they should have pulled back anyway. They already won the game. Go celebrate with your fans. Go the opposite direction. Be the bigger person at this time.
Mm-hmm.
But that comes from coaching too, discipline. If I did anything like that when I played, I'm getting disciplined. Even though we won, we're getting disciplined on Monday because it was uncalled for. I still think we that's what we're missing. We're still missing the leaders. I still haven't seen that guy step up that could say that this is mine. I haven't seen, your Eric Berries, your Al Wilsons, or you haven't seen that. And that's what we've been missing for a long time. And we got to find it.
Mm-hmm. So the second half, we didn't score a whole lot, but we held them to 3 points. Do you think that was more of them just holding the ball, or did we make some adjustments on defense?
We didn't make many adjustments at all. We played better. We tackled a little bit better. But we still missed a lot of tackles. We came out offensively the way we should have been, like we started off the first half, and we went away from it again. Defensively, we did the same thing. We didn't do anything to get off the field.
Yeah.
So that's what we got to step up on. Increase our 3 and outs on defense and continue the drives on offense.
You talked about Joe some. He went 20 for 34, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, his first interception in orange. So many people are on this guy. I feel bad for him. I mean, so many people are on him. If you were on this team, what would you say to him?
Step up, brother. This is your team. Don't let no one take that from you. You deserve this. Don't believe all the hype that everybody giving you. Trust your gift. Go get it. Play ball. Don't worry about what everybody's talking about you. Because, when you're winning, they're going to love you. When you lose, they're going to hate you. That's just part of sports. And Joe, he got thick skin, very thick skin. He doesn't, it's hard to just reading him from the few times I've been around him. He's not easily broken. And that's very rare in that position because you got to have that as a quarterback. You got to, because fans, media, they're going to test you every single time. And that's what I would say to Joe, man. I said, Joe, don't worry about the stuff the outside, man. This is our team. We know what you can do. Don't worry about it. We got you. Just do what you do, and we'll make this happen.
When losses like this occur, what does that locker room look like? Does it all depend on the leadership, on who's talking?
It goes with a lot of the leadership, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know who it is. I haven't been over there to just say I know that's the guy, but I think I'm gonna start going over just to kind of feel and see what's going on and see if there is any things that's holding that guy back. And I typically can read people really well. When I sit there and just watch them, it's easy to read people. I would say it was quiet after the game in that locker room. I would say that they were shocked that it happened the way it did. They wasn't expecting Florida to come in and knock them in the mouth like that.
Yeah.
I said that was going to happen, though. That was going to be Florida's Super Bowl, their next championship game. They're going to play it like that. You won't see Florida play like that again this season.
I agree.
Right. Only way you see that if they play Georgia, if they play Alabama, or then you'll see them compete like that, but it won't be the way they did us. I think Coach Hype did a good job of telling the guys that that's one game, guys. We got a long season to go. There's so many things that can happen to get us back in that situation. Because I don't think anybody. It's going to be tough for the SEC for anybody to go undefeated this year.
In this social media age, do you think that the guys hear a lot of this noise, or do you think they really try to just not get on social media at all? Or is that even possible? They're 18 to 22-year-old guys.
It is not possible to not hear what's going on. The negativity
Mm-hmm.
is everywhere. The media, every sports news, they're all saying the exact same thing. They're creating, situations that are not even happening in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
They're making everybody think that there's turmoil going on, that these guys are not behind the quarterback. I'm like, guys, that's not how it works. It doesn't work like that. It'd be different if he threw 3 interceptions, took 7 sacks, and didn't look like Joe Milton. I mean, because when the plays was going the way it should have been, when they're blocking, they're getting down the field scoring
Mm-hmm.
points.
Yeah.
But yes, social media, it's something else, man. Like I know me personally, if it was me, I wouldn't do social media. I
Mm-hmm.
would completely turn it off, and I would just make a bet with myself until the end of the season. But it's hard because of the way the NIL works. You
Right.
got to put it out there. You got to tweet this. You got to do that. And I understand it, but like with me, I mean, I could do social media, but I don't post a lot of stuff. Like me, I don't like negativity. I try to make everything positive. I don't care what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just unfair, And I'm saying, like you said, I feel bad for Joe. I feel bad for him because he's better. He's his stats don't show that he sucked.
Right.
I mean, we still got some work to do. I think this weekend gonna show how we come back from adversity
Okay.
because this team that we're going to play, this is not an easy team that they're playing this weekend. People don't they look at the name and automatically think that, hey, we got to blow these guys. I was like, guys, that don't work like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Look what Alabama did this past weekend. Three
Yeah.
halftime. Georgia, they struggled until second half. Football is different from all the sports. If these kids make their mind up and want to play the game, you're not gonna see them blowouts like that anymore. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the Colorado State game. Everybody thought it was gonna be a blowout. No, man, this is showtime.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we have a few home games, so we're a little ways off from this, but are you concerned at all that we seem to have trouble on the road a little bit? Or is that just normal in the SEC? I mean, every SEC venue now is very hostile. So is that normal, or is there a concern?
I think it's normal, but I don't think this team was actually truly ready for that type of environment. You know, your first true away game in one of the most hostile stadiums to play in. And I'm telling them, like the crowd, it makes a big difference from the play checks for the offense. They can't change the plays that easy now. They got to look at, their wrist or hope the coach give them a check or something. It's not as easy. Heck, that crowd rattled Peyton Manning. That crowd is not easy going to the swamp and expecting to win. But when you go to the swamp, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. But I don't think these kids understood that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think none of them really ever truly went in that type of environment before. I mean, I think they were shocked to see that many fans as loud as it was, even though they got the same type of crowd here. But
Mm-hmm.
that Florida, I mean, it's loud. It is loud.
Um, is the sky falling right now? That's what it feels like to if you when you look at listen to anybody. I read a story that said something about how Heupel pretty much caught lightning in a bottle, and we were just going to go back to being. I mean, all this craziness. What if you could just speak to fans? Like, what would you say? Like, calm down. What would you say?
I would say, picture this like being in an accident. You can get a new car.
Mm-hmm.
Just think of, it's going to be okay. We got a new car. Hopefully we don't mess up again and get in that wreck. Do better. Just fans, just understand that it's not over. We've only played what, 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
We have a long season, only one SEC game. The SEC games, it matter. Yes, Florida, that mattered. But we got to stay supportive. I know
Mm-hmm.
Florida is a big game, it's a rivalry thing, but we can't look at it like that. I understand. I'm a fan now. But when I hear the fans, I'm like, what I truly want to say to them, I can't because I don't want to start nothing.
Yeah.
I just like with some of my partners that do things with me that's never played the game. I always try to like challenge them in doing something. I say, do this for me for 2 straight weeks, and then come back and tell me how easy that was or how hard that was. I want you to do 300 push-ups every single day for 5 straight days. And then I want you to try to go pick up something that you typically do every day. And I'm doing a basic analogy with them. I'm saying, but this is what these guys do every day. That's just 1% of what they do every day. They got to go to school. They got to go to study hall. They got to train. They got to go to meetings. They got to go. I looked at a schedule. Oh my gosh. And it was a 14-hour schedule, pretty much starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, then finished till about 8, 9 o'clock at night. And it still wasn't over because you still got to study. It's not as easy. I mean, I look at it sometime and I say, how did I do that? How did I do that? I'm like, there's no way I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not saying don't be a fan and I mean you can critique the guys, but don't threaten the guys.
Yeah.
Don't just end them because they lost one game. If you're gonna be a fan, be a fan. Florida lost to Utah. They could easily shut it down and say, "Oh, it's over." No, that's not how it works. They put in the work to win the next game. They don't want to be in that situation anymore. But I'm just hoping that the Volunteers take that loss and realize that, wow, we just got hit in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting it, but you know what? It ain't gonna happen again. It is not gonna happen again. I promise you that. And just do right by. Just be the young men that they know they can be. And the fans, just be nice, fans. Just, if you ain't got nothing good to say, keep it to yourself.
Text a friend, as Danny Watt says.
I say, but think about this here. This is what another thing I'll say. What if the kids said this? Our fans suck. Y'all suck. Y'all can't stand y'all. Don't come to the games. We don't like you no more. What if they said that? Guess what the fans are going to truly say?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say the exact same thing, and you want to fight. You're creating a hostile environment between the fans and the team. So that's what I say. Look at it that way. Imagine that. Imagine if I said everything I want to say to the fans every time. Y'all would hate me.
Yeah.
But I'm not that type of guy, though.
I'd say they have to bite their tongue quite a bit. So.
Oh, man, I'll give you an example. It's the worst feeling I ever had as a Tennessee player. I think it was 96, 97, 97. I don't know if I'm going. The year we lost to Memphis. I think the next game, I think it was homecoming coming up the next game. And We getting ready to go on the Vol walk coming from the complex. And normally we have a gang of fans cheering us on right there. There was one fan right there at the corner of Gibbs Hall. And we didn't see another fan until we got closer to down the hill. And it was probably, it was a couple of hundred. It wasn't like the 1,000 that was normally.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that we felt heartless. Like we was like, oh my God.
Wait, so you're saying there was just a couple hundred fans at the Vol Walk?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow.
You talking about a fluke win that they got? I'm like, come on, man. That there's no way we should have lost that game. Like the kickoff return, that should have been brought back because the guy was down. I mean, because that was my first game starting as a freshman. And of course, when the guy was down, the ref blew the whistle. We running on the field. We already on the field. They just kept going and touchdown.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Gosh. I'll never forget that day though, man. That day there was the day that I remember Al. That game, the Memphis loss, is what created Al Wilson.
Okay.
He became the leader then.
Maybe we'll get that then. This is, we
But I
had
mean, the
the
way kids are today, it's a little bit different now though. And they don't react the same. They are motivated by different things now. Like me, I was motivated by winning. I mean, I'm trying to get to the best bowl game that was available to play in.
Mhm.
And the reason for that is because it was the way to get money to be able to pay for things that I needed because the bowl was going to give us a certain amount of money, and I utilized that in my budget.
Mhm.
So, you're talking about, going to a big bowl game to get in about, $6,000 to go into a lower tier bowl to get $500,
Mhm.
which I've been lucky and I was blessed. I never went to a small bowl.
Yeah. UTSA. What should we look for? I think I read that their quarterback may be out. I don't know.
I think he was saying it was questionable, but I don't think they'll put him in that situation because I think these guys gonna have their ears peeled back and they are going to try to destroy this team this weekend.
Good. I hope so.
And I truly mean I want them to put up 100 points. I do. And I want to hear the one thing I know I'm going to hear. It was only UTSA. Oh gosh, and that's one thing I used to hate hearing. They win and lose the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, you win by 1 point, it's a win. You win by 100 points, it's a win. Doesn't matter what it is. It is the same win. It doesn't change.
Um, the last thing I have for you, this feels like it went by really fast, but has your prediction changed for the
No,
season?
not at all. Not
Okay.
at all. I said it. We're going to lose one of those games that we should win.
Okay.
That was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think we was gonna. I truly didn't think we was gonna lose that game. I didn't think it was gonna be that team that we struggle with. I thought maybe we really got to a situation where it'd been like a Texas A&M or like a Missouri or something like that. I wasn't expecting Florida to beat us. I'm still thinking we're going to be one of the Giants.
Okay.
I mean, we still have time to do this. Like, we're only a few mistakes away from being perfect, but there's nothing we can do to change that. We got to move on and figure out a way to get better. And that's what I hope they do. And I know they will, though. I know they will. I don't think that Coach Hype will put his offense in a situation where they feel like they got to come behind now.
Yeah.
I don't think we have those caliber players yet. I think we got to be the ones that's ahead and stopping people from coming back.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was ugly, but like you said, I mean, it felt like to me watching it, there's a lot of correctable mistakes. A lot.
Lots, lots.
Yeah.
It is. And the thing is, there are easy mistakes to correct, easy steps. The one thing that I've always been taught when it comes to getting better, and if the kid don't get better when you're trying to teach him how to do something, the best way to motivate that kid is to put him on the bench.
Mm.
That bench will remind you what you had. The guy that comes behind you and he plays, and if he plays better, I guaranteed you would never think or play the way you played again. I don't even want to single them out, but everybody probably know who I'm talking about, the DB. I don't want to say it because I like the kid. I do. And he knows what he did wrong. He knows that he tackled like he was truly, I think the School of Blind kids tackle better than him.
Well, yeah.
So
Do
I
you
think
think we'll see that? Do you think we'll see a rotation there?
I don't think it will. I wouldn't automatically say doubt it this weekend. I wouldn't doubt it if we see somebody else in there, but I truly still say he'll play a lot. Because the things he did are easy to fix.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to fix. I mean, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he thought that he was James Harrison, that he can use that shoulder and just put them to sleep. But no, you got to wrap up with your arms. You're not big enough to do that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know that the running back looked like he was tiny. No, that's a bowling ball. That's like a little Travis Henry right there.
Yeah,
And the last name, do you not know who his last name is?
exactly. Yeah.
It runs in the family.
I have his brother on in my fantasy league, so yeah, he gives
Oh,
me lots of points usually.
so I think we'll be okay. I think I'm not in panic mode yet.
Okay. Do you have anything to add?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I just think, I mean, I just want our fans to come with it this weekend. I want them to be what we saw this past weekend, what the way Florida took out everything.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd makes a big difference. If you guys are loud, you're the 12th man. You are part of that field. You're part of that team. If you're loud the whole game, I guaranteed you there are going to be a lot of mistakes by the opponent's offense every single time.
Yeah. All right, everybody, you heard it. Be there, be loud. So
Exactly. Because hey, I think I'm going to be there. I think I'm going to be loud.
I think I might go this weekend. I'm not sure yet, but maybe. Yeah.
And I go
So
stories on go on because I know it's not going to be a full pack, and it'd be easy to get in, easy to get out.
yeah. All right, Billy. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully we're talking about a big win next week
Hey,
and about a lot of corrected mistakes.
well, I hope there are not any mistakes this weekend. Zero turnovers, and let's get back in the half 100 club.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, you have a great night. Thank you again so much.
Same to you, Starla. You take care.
All righty.